All right, guys, let's do this. And number one question that I get when it comes to investing in the Pokemon TCG is, how do I make money? So let's go ahead and go after it. What do we got to do to make money while investing in the Pokemon TCG? Well, if you're new here, hit subscribe, hit that notify, and as always, hit that like button, guys. If we can get 40 likes on this video, greatly appreciated. I get this question a lot, and it's a pretty simple one, right? How do I make money in the Pokemon TCG? I sit here and talk to you about where you should be looking at. I tell you about where you should be careful of. I tell you of a lot of these information things that are leading you down a path that would be successful in investing. But the one question that a lot of people say that we really don't answer is, how do we make money? So let's go ahead and take a look at that. How are we going to do that, especially in the 2022 market? So first thing that I'm always going to tell anybody when it comes down to making money in a Pokemon TCG, in any TCG, this doesn't apply to Pokemon, guys. I mainly do Pokemon, but it works for almost all TCGs right down the line. And the number one thing you have to do, number one, before you spend a dime, is to start planning. And what do I mean by planning? There's a lot of things you need to be planning for when it comes down to it. First thing that I will always tell anybody is make a budget. First thing, no questions asked, put together a budget. Whether it is a weekly, a monthly, a quarterly, a yearly, make a budget. Look at your financial situation, because I do not know it. That's why I have a hard time telling you how to make money in Pokemon TCG. I can give you guidance, but I do not know what you make, so you have to do this work yourself. Get a budget. See what you have for free money. Make sure that you're paying all your bills. Make sure you don't have any debt that has a loan or credit cards. Make sure them are gone. And then you can come back to this and go ahead and start putting money into a standard 401k, in real estate, in crypto, and then go for the TCG markets, guys. We're all multifaceted when it comes to investing. We're not just investing in a Pokemon TCG. That would be silly, crazy, and just irresponsible to be doing so. But when you do get to this point and you have a budget set, whether you want to spend $50 a month, $200 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever's in your financial budget to do so, just remember, it's like any investment, it could be lost. So this needs to be expendable money. Don't be pulling money out of your savings account to go invest in Pokemon TCG. Don't go ahead and go pull it out of other investments, put it in a Pokemon TCG. This is expendable money that you have available at a regular basis. Whether it's $50, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $10,000 a month, you can be successful in the Pokemon TCG when it comes to investing. So the next thing that I'm going to tell you is set up a goal. What are your goals? Use your budget and come up with some very specific goals that you want to complete when it comes down to the Pokemon TCG or any TCG, Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, whatever it is. Do you want to see a yearly gain percentage? Do you want to see a monthly total gain? Are you looking at a dollar amount for a dollar spent? That is up to you. You really need to sit there and find out a goal for where you want this to be. You want to know how you want to do this. And I tend to set some really makeable goals. Whether it's my YouTube channel, it's my farm, my business, my investments outside of this, I set really easy goals that are doable. And I also try and throw in a couple impossible or lofty goals that are really difficult to do. That way it pushes me that little bit extra. It pushes me to be more successful to try and reach them goals. But in the back of my mind, I know that it's going to be really difficult to do so. But you got to go somewhere, right? You got to have something that's actually obtainable, and you have to have something that may not be. But if you can pull them off, you are that much better for doing it. So these are major things you need to do. The last thing that I am really going to tell you to look for is figure a time frame for your investments. What you invest in, how you invest, how long is going to determine that item. Whether it's WotC, whether it's modern, whether it's somewhere in between, whether it's PSA, singles, sealed, all of that will be determined more by your time frame. So whether you want to do a turnaround in days, months, years, decades, you need to make a decision on that part of it. Those are some things that you really need to keep in consideration when you're investing into a TCG. It's really good information to make sure that you really do put these things together. This is what I talk about with planning. I can't help you with a lot of this stuff. Most people cannot because we don't know you. We don't have a layout of your financials. We can't see what you have for expendable money. We don't know what your goals are for your investment. And of course, we don't know what your time frame is going to be for these things. So definitely reasons why we really don't say this is how you're going to do it, because we can't do that. And I can't. As a disclaimer, I give you what I'm doing and give you my journey, my path. I'm giving you tips and tidbits along the way to keep you in a safe working environment when it comes to investment. We don't want you overspending or get yourself in trouble. So here, to add on to that, I'm going to put on the next part. Don't be greedy, guys. The biggest thing that gets a lot of people in trouble in the Pokemon TCG, and this is going to tie into my second one, is don't be greedy. Don't be trying to make $1 million on a $100 card. Don't be trying to buy a single sealed product and expect to make $40,000 to $100,000 on their product. It's not going to happen very often, guys. Most of the products are going to do minimum gains, such as 10, 20% a year. Some of them will do better than that. I mean, as long as we're above 8%, for me, a goal is always to beat 8% on my returns at the end of the year. The reason being is that if I don't do that with the amount of work that goes into it, I could just invest in the S&P 500 and get 8% a year annual turnaround almost every year. So why wouldn't I just put my money where I don't have to think about it rather than doing all this work? So my usual goal is 15%, but no less than 8%. Next thing I'm going to say is it ties into that second one, of course, is don't try to sell everything at the peak. You'll never do it. If you are trying to always sell at the peak, you'll never sell a thing. It's really difficult to time it at that exact moment. What we do, or what I do, and I sit here and figure out what I want to do. I purchase a product and I specifically start to break down, where do I want this to get to when I sell it? I definitely pick a number, and when it hits that number, I sell it. I don't regret. Don't look back. Don't question that sales. Yes, you may sell it way too early in your mind, and you may sit there and think that you're really losing out. But if you continually think that way, you'll continually fail in your own mind, which will cause you to collapse in on yourself. Remember, if you want to make money in a TCG in 2022, it's going to be the small gains that are going to get you somewhere, especially depending on that goal for your time frame. If you're looking at weeks, months, days, them small gains, them small inch ups are where you really want to be. Sometimes that's where I've said in the past, we're flippers. We go buy stuff at Walgreens, Walmart, something that came out, older stuff that we know sells really well. We'll take it home, we'll double the price, and we'll make our money real fast. That's options. That's where we can be. And that's where you need to be thinking when you sit there and really look at it. Don't try and hit the peaks. Don't try and buy at the valleys. Buy on the slightly upturns when things start to move up, or sell right before or when it hits your set number. That's the simplest way to really get going, guys, and you won't get as frustrated because, it went to $122, but I didn't sell it at that point, and now it's at $119. I'm just going to wait because it may go back. It may never go back, guys. Just sell when you're at a price point that you want to be at to make the profit you're looking for. It's that simple. Next thing that I'm going to say, make sure that you separate your investments from your collection. So just like myself, I am a collector. I enjoy my products. I enjoy my items. There are some things that I don't list for sale. I don't put them out there for places. Everything's for sale for a price. Even my collection stuff is for sale at a price because I know I can always get it again if I need it or want it. But realistically, I have a collection and I have an investment. They do not intermingle. I keep them separated because the issue is that when you start putting everything together, you start to get clouded on what's my investment. What was I going to sell again? Was I going to sell that, or was I going to keep? Maybe I think I like that item. Oh no, that PSA card was definitely going to be collected. But I was thinking of selling. It just gets too confusing, guys. Take your investment items, make a bin, make some storage, go with some totes, go with whatever you want to do, shelving, whatever you got, whatever is affordable for you. Put it in it and write investment on it. If it's collection, display it. If you're going for storage collection, mark a tote storage. Put your stuff in it. Keep it separated. Keep it distanced from each other. That way you never make that confusion on whether or not you want to sell something or keep it. That way you don't accidentally sell your collection piece because you weren't thinking. It's good market, things were flying off the shelf, and you accidentally sold your favorite card. Oh, I wasn't thinking. I don't know what I was doing. Prevent that. Keep them separated. Do it. It's easier. It just makes things more clear in the long run, and you don't get that sentimental attachment to things. That's the one thing that'll slow you down when it comes to selling items, is sentimental attachment. If you start to like something more and more and more, you're less likely to sell it when you need to. You'll try and push it. You'll try and get greedy with it. You'll get to the point, like I said, everything for sale is in my collection for the price. And if you're investing, you don't want that to happen. You want to keep it clean, clear cut, and knowing that that's what you want to do. The last part of this I'm going to say is don't sell too low. So when it comes to sales of any of these TCG products, and you're trying to do investments in Pokemon in 2022, investments in TCG in 2022, be sure that you be patient on the sales. Right now, it is a buyer's market. I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to purchase things. If you're trying to sell in this market, I'm going to make offers. I'm going to try and bundle things together. I'm going to try and get better pricing, reduce that shipping, reduce that seller's fees. I'm trying to do all of that as a buyer. I'm buying now. I am trying to get the best price I can. The one thing you have to be very clear when it comes to selling. Am I selling to collectors? Am I selling to people that are opening these packs? Am I selling to tournament players? Or am I selling to investors? I don't try and sell to investors. Selling to an investor means that they're going to try and get it from you from rock bottom pricing because they want to turn it around and sell it again. And if they're trying to do that, they don't want to overspend. You don't as an investor. You're trying to get as much as you can for as cheap as possible so that you make the most. Remember that when you're selling items. People like me, people like you, people like anybody else are out there like sharks, swimming, making offers, and I do it. I will hardly ever pay top price on something that you have it labeled at, especially if there's that make that offer button. I'm making an offer every time. Even if you come back with a counter offer and I can knock, you have it marked at market price, I come back with an offer, you come back with a counter offer left, I'm thinking, I got a better deal. I got it $2 under market value, sold. It's exactly what I do. Remember that when it comes down to it. Be patient, guys. There are collectors, there are people looking for these products that actually enjoy and want these things, not just investors out there. So be patient and definitely wait for that product to really come up to you. Make sure that that item is sold at market value. If not, try and go a little over. I try and list things a little over. Sometimes you get lucky. Worst case scenario is that I know my price at market is this. If someone offers it to me, it's good. If they feel like they got a deal, you still got what you wanted out of it, and everybody walks away happy, right? So there's another opportunity for you guys to look at. So these are the biggest things that you're going to need to look at when you're trying to make money in Pokemon TCG. Number one, make sure that you are planning things out. Before you buy anything, pen and paper, sit down, figure out what your budget's going to be, figure out what your goals are going to be, figure out what your time frame is for making these things happen. It's the best way to actually get a footing and find out what you want to do. It also helps you decide if you want to do sealed, singles, or PSA, graded cards. The other thing you do, once again, don't be greedy. Always sit there and sell when it's a good price. Don't try and make max profit with number 3. Just go ahead and set a price. You know, if you've got a booster box, I want to sell this for $150. When it hits $150, guys, sell it. Don't regret. Don't hold back. Don't be worried about it. It is what it is. You still made the profit that you thought was comfortable, and you can move on. Next thing is always separate your investments from collectibles. Once again, very important step. You do not want to get sentimental value to every investment item you have. If you do that, you will not sell anything. You will be sitting on a mountain of stuff, sitting there going, I may sell this, but I really like it right now, so I'm going to keep it. Prevent that. Keep it separated. Make a collection side, make an investment side, and go with it. The last thing, of course, is do not sell too low. Be patient, guys. This market's going to be a lot of up and down in the next year, 2022. Making money in it is going to be very difficult, but just take your time. Be sure that you're patient on your sales. Don't rush them. Just remember, if a product is sitting out there for a month, what does it matter? You still own it, and unless you need the money right now, let it sit, let it ride. You know, what's the worst that happens? Go in there and refresh the tags, change the description every once in a while to get that algorithm getting out there to get the sale or make it look for sales. But other than that, guys, it is really just a patience game. Things are going to shift. We're seeing some weird movements in the market right now, which are great. It's great for investors to see some of these markets shift. Things kind of move around the way they are. The Champion's Path, Hidden Fates, even Evolving Skies are doing some really weird things that we weren't expecting this early in the year. So great opportunities, guys. So with that being said, if I brought you some good information today, if I was helpful, and if I made it a little bit more exciting today, be sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave, guys. Be sure that you hit that notify so that you know when we're doing these kind of things. And last but not least, smash that like button before you go, guys. We can get 40 likes in this video. It's greatly appreciated. As always, I will put up these 2 videos up over here for your enjoyment. And with that being said, we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.